This is Real News Media TV, coverage you can trust. Please like, share, subscribe, and hit the notification bell. Select all for daily news updates. Good evening, my Real News Media TV family. Welcome back to the channel for another news update for April 20, 2023. And in the news this evening, several injured in three-vehicle crash in St. Anne. Several persons have been seriously injured in a three-vehicle collision at the roundabout in Miami Bay, St. Anne on Thursday morning. The incident happened sometime after 9 a.m. The accident reportedly involved a truck, a car, and a Knutsford Express bus. Construction worker shot dead in Westmoreland. A construction worker was fatally shot along the Carolina Main Road in Petersfield, Westmoreland on Wednesday night. The deceased has been identified as 54-year-old Linford Barnes, otherwise called Perkins, from the community. Barnes is said to have been a witness in a murder that happened in May last year. He was reportedly shot and injured in that incident as well. Reports are that citizens heard loud explosions and summoned the police. On arrival of the lawmen, Barnes was seen lying on his left side, suffering from what appeared to be gunshot wounds to his upper body. He was subsequently transported to the Savannah Lamar Public General Hospital, where he was pronounced dead. Westmoreland has recorded 32 murders since the start of the year. This is 15 or 31.9% less than was recorded over the comparative period in 2022. Kingston Central Police lists the wanted men. Detectives assigned to the Kingston Central Police Division have named 5 persons as wanted in relation to several crimes committed across the division. They are Shanrick Nugent, otherwise called Dan Dan, landscaper of Fleet Street, Kingston. Nugent is wanted for murder. Mervyn Henry, otherwise called Biggie, of George's Lane, Kingston. Henry is wanted for murder and shooting with intent. Marvin Henry, otherwise called Little, of George's Lane, Kingston. Henry is wanted for murder and shooting with intent. Maverick Edwards, otherwise called Jermaine, of Princess Street, Kingston, CSO, and 5 East, Greater Portmore, St. Catherine. Edwards is wanted for murder. A man known only as Ageable and a Short Man, of Orange Bay, Portland, Skiba District, Portland, and Smith Lane, Kingston. He is wanted for wounding with intent. The Kingston Central Police are urging anyone with information on the above-named persons to come forward. Members of the public who wish to render assistance to the police are being asked to do so by calling the Kingston Central Police at 876-922-8788 or 876-320-9411, Crime Stop at 311, the NIB tip line at 811, the police 119 number, or the nearest police station. Doctor disputes Jean Panton's claim she suffered a stroke in custody. A medical doctor who reportedly examined accused fraudster Jean Panton has testified that despite her claims, he has not observed anything to indicate that she suffered a stroke while in custody. Dr. Jermaine White made the revelation during court proceedings on Wednesday. White, a medical officer employed by the Department of Correctional Services, also gave evidence that there was no record to indicate that Panton had any episodes of seizure at the South Camp Road Penal Facility where she is being housed. In an affidavit filed on Wednesday to support a new bail application, Panton, a former wealth advisor at the fraud-hit investment firm Stocks and Securities Limited, claimed that she suffered a stroke and at least 2 seizures since her initial bail application was refused by a High Court judge in late February. The previous bail application was refused by High Court Judge Lorna Shelley Williams, who cited the seriousness of the offenses, the absence of a medical report in support of health complaints, and the fact that investigations were ongoing. Panton's attorney Sylvester Hemmings expressed that following Panton's stroke and seizures, her condition would require medical treatment as it is considered very serious. However, following a formal assessment, White revealed that to date, there has been no record of any recognizable seizure activity from Panton. He also indicated that he saw no evidence of paralysis or anything that would indicate a stroke. White is expected to be cross-examined by Panton's attorney when the hearing resumes on Thursday. Panton is facing a 22-count indictment charging her with a forgery, larceny as a servant, and engaging in a transaction involving criminal property. Jamaican sprint legend Usain Bolt reportedly lost US $12 million or approximately Jamaican $2 billion in the alleged fraud scheme uncovered at the firm. 2 more persons arrested in Insport Fraud. 2 more persons have been arrested by the Major Organized Crime and Anti-Corruption Agency in connection to the $222 million fraud at the Institute of Sports. News of the arrest came from MOCA's Director of Communications, Major Basil Jarrett, on Thursday morning. On Wednesday, MOCA announced that 3 people, including popular Chugit and the French Connection party promoter Andrew Wright, along with Rudolph Barnes and O'Neill Hope, had been arrested in connection with the fraud detected by Insport in 2017. Allegations are that the 3 men were part of a team of former employees of Insport who wrote, signed, and encashed fraudulent checks for payees who were neither employees nor contracted workers of the entity. The suspected fraud and other irregularities were reportedly detected by Insport in 2017 during an examination of their financial records. The matter was then reported to MOCA, triggering an investigation. The 3 have been charged with various offenses, including conspiracy to defraud, acquisition, use and possession of criminal property, engaging in transactions involving criminal property, and larceny as a servant. Alleged gangster killed in police confrontation in West Kingston. Commanding officer for the Kingston Western Police Division, Senior Superintendent Michael Phipps, says a man who was killed in the division on Tuesday during a confrontation with the police was warned to stay out of the area. 19-year-old Nicholas Denton, otherwise called the Fireball, of Racecourse Lane, Kingston 14, was shot and killed in Wilton Gardens. The police say a Browning pistol with 3 rounds of ammunition was seized. Phipps says Denton was a known gang member who was charged with shooting with intent in 2022. He says based on a request from investigators, Denton was warned not to visit the Denham Town area. Earlier this year, he was found in Denham Town in clear breach of his bail conditions. He was taken back before the court, where he was readmitted to bail and was again warned not to be seen in Denham Town. However, to our surprise, he returned to the area where he had a confrontation with the police, which led to his death, Phipps said. The Inspectorate and the Professional Standards Oversight Bureau and the Independent Commission of Investigations are probing the incident. Cruise passenger drowns in St. Anne. A tourist who arrived in Jamaica on a cruise ship is suspected to have drowned at a blue hole in Oteria, St. Anne yesterday. He is 33-year-old Damon Rashford Benjamin of a Florida address in the United States. Mr. Benjamin was a passenger on the Carnival Sunrise cruise ship that docked in Oteria yesterday morning. It is reported that about midday, Mr. Benjamin jumped into the water at the blue hole and did not resurface. He was later seen unresponsive in the water. He was taken to the St. Anne's Bay Hospital, where he was pronounced dead on arrival. Don't forget to like, share, subscribe, and hit the notification bell. Select all for daily news updates.